Okay, let me tell you. What? Self-control. Yeah. Self-control. Self-control. At time I practiced. Let me tell you guys. So there's this time I was in Form 2. And hey, well, la la la. I tried to practice self-control, like not tried. Oh, okay, I didn't struggle with self-control because I think like I was a church girl I got through. But the time I was faced with a challenge that needed me to practice self-control, the self-control in many ways, but I'm not talking. But I have been asked a particular line of self-control. So I remember this time we were in the home science room. We had double home science and then we had a PE lesson. So home science was like mostly being done by people from like the city. I used to be in a school that was not in the city. So home science was like for girls from the city. So we had double home science and then there was a PE lesson after that. So the teacher for home science did not come. So that meant we had a double 45 minutes times 2, times 3 actually, because we didn't go for PE. So this girl started talking about sex. My God, the 90 minutes, the first 90 minutes, she had told us a lot of stuff. Had not had, that stuff. So she told us a lot of things. Like gave us a lot of stories. And you know what? I did not sleep that night. A student in boarding school. And what I always say is, if we had a hot hunk cook, I would have gone to say, please help me try this thing. Yeah. So let me tell you, I thought about it. I processed it. I could not sleep. This thing was, the things she was saying were just like loud. It's like I'm sleeping, but at night that the voice is just screaming. I was a trusted girl. My principal is going to hear this because she follows me. So I went to the following day. It was on a Friday. Now that happened on Friday. So on Saturday, I went to the staff room crying. Teacher, I want to go home and see my mom. My mom was sick. So my mom was ailing and the school knew. So at times I'd be allowed to go home. So I told Mwalimu, just allow me to go home, so that when I come back, I focus, because I cannot sleep. I'm just thinking about my mother. I am worried she might be dying. My mother had a terminal illness. I've made it look nice. Yeah. So I said. So I was like, just allow me to go home, and then guess what? I was permitted to go home. So I went home, and I had someone in mind. Hello. So there's this guy who kept telling me, hey, say one day, he was the good guy and I was the good girl. So I didn't have a boyfriend. So I just had this guy in mind. So I said, okay, fine. Let me go home and then I see whether this is going to happen. So like what used to happen was like guys from our side, girls used to hug with boys, but I never used to. I never used to. So this day he comes and then he says hi like usual. Then I'm like, no, it's a hug. It's a hug because I have a plan. So I went home. I went to the house. My mom wasn't there. Then when I was getting off the mat, someone from church saw me and they said hi. And then they were getting off two stages after me. So I went home and this guy comes. So when I sat down, I was seated down, then he came and sat sat somewhere. So I'm thinking, so do what you do, come and sit here. Then he wasn't, because by that time I had these are my boundaries, and they knew that, or he knew that. So I was like, I'm the one who went and sat on the arm of our seat. And I was like, he's doing nothing. Like, so I'm thinking, oh my God, how do I do this? So I sat on the arm, and I leaned in a bit. Then, so I sat, and I'm trying to be so suggestive, but man, he's not there, because I mean, it has never been, and he knows. Well, we were seated there. See, the guy that said hi to me, he was actually like, I would say he was my spiritual like authority. He was older than me. He used to like help me in spiritual matters. So he went, dropped whatever he was dropping at home, and then he came back to check why I had come home. So I'm just seated there with that guy, and then I hear a knock. And man, that day you bored me. That time, that guy's like, why are you coming now? And that was the end. So he came. We sat down, and then this other guy went, because now the guy from church has come. So we started chatting, and then eventually, do you know what? I told him what I'd come to do. Because for me, God has been saying that arise, actually that was the word. The word for this season has been arise and let your light shine. And I was like, I know what I'd come to do. And I cried and I confessed. Yeah. Was that self-control, or was I controlled? I think I was controlled. I'm not sure I controlled myself. I think I did, because I finished school.